Ah, come on, 2017. I know we've only just barely started, but you gotta have something in here worth reviewing. I know January's usually the month where movie studios fob off the crap they know is garbage in hopes end-of-the-year lists will forget about them, but music tends to be a touch more flexible on that front. Hell, I've had 2 albums of the year release in January. Come on, you gotta have something. Dropkick Murphys? It's good, but it's just kind of standard Murphys. What else you got here? You Me at 6? Boy, we're a long ways off from Underdog these days, aren't we? Well, whatever. Come on, January. I know you can do better than this. Let's really dig deep here. Oh, what's this? Sundara Karma? Who the hell are these guys? English pop rock quartet, Hun and the Underground, releasing debut album. Okay, thrill me. Oh, well, that'll do. Quite nicely, in fact. Hey, 2017's already looking up. So, like I mentioned, Sundara Karma are a band that are just barely getting their feet wet, but they're still making a splash regardless. After hearing Youth is Only Ever Fun in Retrospect, I can clearly see why. These guys have a lot of talent, potential, and their sound and presentation would fit absolutely superbly next to other mainstream acts, like the 1975 or 21 Pilots, for example. Hell, if you're a big fan of either of those bands, I can say just go ahead and skip the rest of the review and pick this one up post-haste. You'll eat this thing right up. But even if you aren't a fan of all that mainstream bullshit, brah, I still say this is a group worth keeping an ear on. While I compared them to 21 Pilots and 1975, I would say there is a huge difference in sound that most people will notice right away compared to those others. And since they're a British band, I'm going to use a distinctly British word to describe what it is. See, unlike a lot of their counterparts, these guys don't have nearly the same amount of faff. Look, I love 1975, but holy god do they love faffing about on their albums, especially that last one. Even the title was a load of faff. And a lot of rock acts that are reaching that megastardom level these days are really doing so on the back of a lot of faff. What I like about these guys is they are much more cut to the chase. You hit play on the album, A Young Understanding kicks on, and within 10 seconds, boom, you're hit with sweeping drums, gorgeously crystal guitar work, and billowing bass lines. The party just gets started, no BS, and the momentum is kept chugging right along with tracks like Love, Blood, Olympia, and Flame, while taking the time to occasionally mix things up with stuff like Happy Family, Lose the Feeling, and Watching from Great Heights. These guys never stray too far from the formula that works for them. Their instrumentation is extremely tight and well-focused. Guitar riffs are built specifically to be infectious and catchy, and the drum work is just that little bit more complex and nuanced than it needs to be. It adds a sense of immediacy and urgency to pretty much every track. It reminds me, in just very small hints, of something like The Killers, or perhaps, oh, dare I say it, even Block Party. Yes, Block Party, but like super early Block Party. I'm talking Silent Alarm, or even the self-titled EP here. While the drums don't reach Matt Tong levels of godliness, they are superbly energetic, and they help push these tracks from just listenable into the active foot-tapping realm. And I mean, after the last thing Block Party put out, yeah, anything that reminds me of the good old days, even vaguely, is gonna get good marks from me at this point. Ugh. And again, I like that we have a modern-sounding pop rock album that's been spared a lot of the atmospheric faffing about that most of 2016's mainstream music had to deal with in big doses, like, wow, that was a weird year for pop. Even though the album itself isn't flawless by any means, the vocalist may take a little bit of getting used to for some people, and things do admittedly get a teensy bit saggy and repetitive around the middle. But for those of you that need to whet your appetites until the next 21 Pilots finally drops, or for those of you that may have been bored silly by the new Bastille, for example, I say pick this one up now. Chances are you'll be seeing these guys open for acts like this in the near future, so you may as well get acquainted now. Youth is Only Ever Fun in Retrospect gets 4 block parties that don't suck out of 5.